Today I'm going to be walking you through our API code that connects Twitch chat to processing so that in real time viewers can affect your code. Here's some examples of it in action. Here we have a simple setup where the emotes in the chat can affect the color of the visuals. This is a different example where the code selects one letter from each message to print and morph in ink. For this tutorial, before you start, you're going to need three things: the Twitch Authenticator token and the two files that are in the description for this video. To get the Twitch Authenticator token, you can quickly and easily get one here at twitchtokengenerator.com. For this, you're only going to need a bot token because we're accessing the public chat and no private data is needed. Keep in mind that this generator and others like it are third-party websites, so if you don't want to give them permissions to your account, feel free to get your own authenticator token from Twitch directly at dev.twitch.tv. It's just a bit more complicated and required more in-depth coding knowledge. Once you give permissions to twitchtokengenerator.com, you can just scroll down. It will connect to your account with your username and then give you an access token that you can copy. So this here is what we're going to need. After that, head to the video description and download the Java library file. And in that same folder, you'll see a simple processing code called twitchchat_wasd. Download that as well. This code, once set up properly, will allow Twitch chat to be able to move this ball around like so. Okay, and now we're ready to start. So open the Twitch chat wasd file and drag the Java library into it to import the library. Next, you'll see this section here, the Twitch WebSocket. This is where you're going to input your username and authentication token that we got earlier. Be sure to leave the quotation, so just replace this and then this section here. This temp string here is where the Twitch chat will load into, so I recommend not touching this string. Here are the string commands for the basic code that I have here in this chat, essentially saying, if the chat types W, run this, and so on and so on. You'll see how it works further down. In setup, we're going to make sure that the temp starts blank. And then we're going to run this bit here, which tells processing which Twitch stream to join. So this section here is going to be found at, if you go to Twitch, you're going to see the URL for whoever's streaming. Just copy this section here. And then put it in your code. The good news is you can connect to any channel online or even offline. And that means if you want to check your code with a busy chat, you can just connect to whatever big channel is streaming at the time and use their chat that is talking. Or if you want a more quiet chat to text your code, you can head to your own channel. Even when it's offline, you can just hit this button here and it will bring up your chat and you can still use it without needing to be streaming actively. Continuing down in the draw loop, we have to call the temp load-in function, which essentially writes if the socket has more messages, then load the new message in the temp string. Here at the bottom, I have included a simple code so that you can check if the connection is working correctly. This reads that if the temp string equals the W command, then move the ball. For this code, I also included a temp reset so that it wouldn't continuously move the ball. It's really important that you put this .trim here because Twitch code comes in with the spaces and enters. So you'll see what appears to be the correct triggers coming in from the chat, but if you're using the equals function, it won't be working because of an extra space or something similar like that. So you want to trim it off so it's just the text, not the white space. One of the other important things to note here is that you can use both dot equals or dot contains, depending on your situation. So if you want to use, say, a emote to change the color, like I gave in my earlier example, I ended up using the dot contains rather than the equals so that someone in the chat could put the emote 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, it didn't matter. It would still change the hue. Whereas equals, of course, it has to be exactly the correct command. So if they put multiple of your trigger, it won't work. On that note, if you're looking to use emotes in your code, if you want your emotes to trigger something, you can head over to Twitch and just hover over the emotes in the chat, and the text will pop up that is associated with that emote. So that's a general overview of how to connect processing to Twitch chat. It's really cool, and I think it really unlocks a lot of different ways that you can connect with people and use your processing code. If you end up making something cool, please throw it in the comment section. I'd love to see what people end up doing with this. We'd also like to thank the Canada Council for the Arts for providing funding to support the creation of this API and the artworks that were presented with a larger series that came out earlier this year. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this helps.